Hi guys! Welcome to the Craft Time Studio. If you're new to this channel, I hope you consider liking and subscribing so that I can continue making clay and craft tutorials to share with you. For this tutorial, I wanted to show you how to make 3 designs using one colorway. The choice of colors can really make a big impact on one's design, and this tutorial is the perfect way to show you this. For the color palette, I was really inspired by fall colors because I see it everywhere. The 4 colors that I used are custom blends. For this first one, I mixed gray granite with terracotta to make this earthy orange blend. For the next one, I mixed yellow with pearlized gold. For the lightest color, I mixed white with a little bit of yellow and some gray granite to produce this very yellowish white. As you know, I'm not a fan of solid white colors, so every time I use white, I try to mix in some other color. For the blue clay, I used sapphire blue with a little bit of gray granite clay and a bit of black clay as well. People sometimes ask me what clay I use, and most of the time, I have Sculpey and Fimo on hand. Don't tell these brands, but I often mix them together, and honestly, they work very well. Some of the colors in Fimo are better, while other colors are better in Sculpey, so I try to get the best of both worlds and mix them, and they really do blend well together. For this project, we will begin with the simplest one first, and something that I've made in my other video. I wanted to show you that you can make rainbows but with different inspirations. To make these fall-inspired rainbows, you will need a bit of each color of clay and a clay blade. Take note that the clay that I am using has already been preconditioned, so they're already soft and malleable. I roll out each color into even logs. If you're taking up clay for the first time, I can tell you that now is the best time to learn this because clay is so versatile and forgiving, and it's also quite easy to use. Now back to our tutorial. So once you've rolled all 4 colors into logs, get the lightest color first and fold it into a U-shaped curve. Then, get the second color and follow the shape of the first one. Get the third color and do the same. Finally, repeat the step for the 4th color. You can do even-shaped rainbows, but I also try to do an asymmetrical rainbow by cutting one end shorter than the other. And there you have it, our fall rainbows. Just place a hole on top of it if you want to make it into earrings, or just attach it to a earring post before baking. For the next project, I used the lightest color as my base slab. I flattened the yellow white out into the number 3 setting. Then, I got all the remaining 3 colors and flattened each one out into the number 9 setting. I lay out all my colors on my glass before starting with design number 2, which are terrazzo-inspired slabs. To make the terrazzo bits, get a square or rectangular cutter. Punch out the shape but overlap it repeatedly until you get small uneven shapes so that it sticks in place even when you push the cutter on it. Do this on all the colors. Once you have all the shapes cut out, you will need to lift each shape with an aid of a blade if it's very stuck on the glass, or a detail needle, and carefully place each shape on the slab. This is a rather repetitive process, so maybe play something on the background, do some YouTube while you do this. But your patience will pay off because it will really look very interesting. I see so many of these terrazzo inspirations on the net, and I learned that it is basically chips of marble or granite set in concrete and then polished. Now to finish this off, I took my parchment paper and rolled it out on the slab to secure the shapes in place. Finally, we're on to project number 3, our last project, which is a fall leaves slab. So for this final project, I used a terracotta colored slab as my base, which I rolled out into the number 3 setting. Then, I rolled the rest of the colors into the number 9 setting. I also used a leaf shape cutter, a clay blade, and a detail needle. So, the first thing that I did was to punch my leaves out. I wanted 2 different sizes of leaves, so to make the smaller leaves, I just overlapped my cutting, and that produced the smaller leaves. I also still wanted to have the bigger leaves, so I just used my cutter to make the regular shaped leaves. I repeated this process for all the remaining colors. The next thing I did was I removed all the excess clay just so that I can see what I'm working with. Then, I carefully take out the small leaves. I stick them on the clay with one leaf overlapping the other. After I've used up all my small leaves, I fill the remaining space with the big leaves. Now, if I'm happy with my placement, this is the time I would bring out my parchment paper and roller to secure the shapes in place. After this, I take the white colored clay, rolled it out into very thin logs, and used my clay blade to make small dots that I stuck in threes to the slab. Then I get my sapphire blue clay, I roll it out into a very thin log as well, and make additional small dots that I just randomly placed on the slab. Finally, I clean up the edges of my slab. Then, I come in with my detail needle and score the veins on the leaves. And that is it! 3 different styles using just one colorway. I hope that you like my fall-inspired colors, and I also hope that it inspires you to craft more. I know crafting has saved my sanity many times, especially in the current situation that we are all facing right now. So, I hope that you keep on crafting and stay safe. Bye everyone! See you next time!